All right, it is 6:30. We'll go ahead and call this meeting to order. We do roll call.
Christian, Jeske,
Here.
Bowles,
Here.
Oster, Souter,
Here.
Whittington,
Here.
Halliday.
All right, if you would, please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everybody. The mission statement of this board is providing an exceptional learning community which inspires the whole child through excellent instruction, every student, every classroom, every day. We are going to amend the agenda this evening before we vote to approve it. If you want to flip your agendas over, we are going to add an action item B, and we are going to strike policy 5320 from the first list, and we are going to make that action item B to vote for the second reading and adoption of that policy by itself. If that is the pleasure of the board, can we do a roll call vote on the amendments? Or I will make a motion that we approve the amended agenda.
I'll second.
Motion by Jeske, second by Oster, to approve the amended agenda. Any discussion? Hearing none, can we do a roll call vote?
Oster,
Yes.
Bowles,
Yes.
Jeske,
Yes.
Christian, Souter,
Yes.
Whittington,
Yes.
Halliday.
All right, motion carries 5-0. Thank you. Moving on to the consent agenda, looking for a motion and a support to approve the consent agenda as presented.
So moved.
Support.
Motion by Souter, supported by Whittington. Any discussion? All those in favor, can raise right hand, aye. Aye. Motion carries 5-0. Student and staff recognition.
All right, I have a short one this evening, but also an important one. Just want to thank our mechanics, Richard and Dustin, for helping rescue the stranded 8th graders last week. They were on their field trip in Gaylord when one of the 2 buses broke down, so they took a spare bus up there and were able to load the kids on that bus and get them back. And they diagnosed and replaced the faulty starter solenoid right there in Gaylord, right on the side of the road or in the parking lot, and were able to get the bus back. All's well. So big thanks to Richard and Dustin for getting the kids back in time before the end of the school day, and also in time to eat. That's important as well. So,
All right. Thank you, Ben. Public comments is up next. Do I have any public comments this evening? I don't have any sheets. Going once, going twice. Moving on to reports. Superintendent report.
all right. In case you didn't see it from Principal Goodwin or Thompson, there was recently a notification about a TikTok challenge that they sent out. This is not just a Houghton Lake issue. You might have seen it on the news. So it was a nice alert. Thank you, Jeff, and thank you, Alicia and Heidi. Basically just alerting parents to talk to their kids about this. Not everything you see on TikTok needs to be replicated, and this is one of those things. Basically, the TikTok challenge involved vandalizing Chromebooks with pieces of metal, including jabbing them into charging ports, which can cause fires, sparking, chemical leakage, batteries to fail, explosions. We've had to discipline, unfortunately, 2 students thus far for attempting these behaviors. And the bottom line is here, not to mention the significant risk to one's own safety. Students who do this will be disciplined, and depending on the damages, vandalism and other criminal charges could be filed. Not to mention, of course, suspensions out of school. So I think since you put your notice out, and Principal Thompson and others, I have not heard any more about this. There were a couple incidences early, and hopefully that's in the rearview mirror. A quick budget update from our lobbyist David Ladd out of Lansing regarding the recent consensus revenue estimating conference. They just concluded their May session by revising both the state general fund and the school aid fund up from the January consensus revenue estimating committee. The school aid fund is up $470 million from the previous year and up $85 million from the January estimates. The bottom line for fiscal '26 is that the general fund is up by about 4% from the previous year. School aid fund is up as well. This is way better news than they were anticipating, so things are looking pretty good for district funding going into 25-26, which is really good news. The Michigan Health Fair, we've been working on this now for a couple weeks. The Mid-Michigan Health Fair. We have finalized the date. I think at the last update I shared with the board, they were still looking at some options. The date will now be August 7th here in the high school. It'll be in the cafeteria, the front lobby, up and down the hallways. They'll have a lot of kiosks set up for like diabetes awareness, weight management, nutrition, a bunch of things, BMI index. They're planning on partnering with the local food pantry to have their food truck here on campus to give away food to those in need. In addition to their kiosks that they will be setting up, they will also be offering sports physicals and vision and hearing screenings for any of our students who need them. Last week I was able to attend the NHS and NJHS induction ceremonies. I was super happy to see a really large number of kids qualifying for this prestigious honor. It's nice to see more and more of our students demonstrating academic excellence. Jeff, had you said that that ceremony was going to be less than 40 minutes, I would not have believed you, but it was. It was very efficient, so nicely done, nicely done. Speaking of ceremonies, this Wednesday, we are in ceremony season this time of year. This Wednesday we'll be honoring our 9 summa cum laude students who've achieved their summa cum laude status by earning a GPA of 3.9 or higher. In addition, each of those students will have an opportunity to invite to the front of the group their honored educator and get to say a few words and recognize that person and share why they've made a big impact on their lives and help them achieve their success. They'll also be presenting their honored educator with a nice plaque, and it's one of my favorite events of the year. Looking forward to that. Looking forward to a good meal as well. So that is my update.
Any questions for Superintendent Williams? Hearing none, finance report.
I'm going to share on behalf of Leanna. This is a super short update. Basically, we are right on track with where she was sharing last time. We expect to finish out very close, to what was shared at the last budget amendment. No real changes or highlights, knock on wood. No hiccups or deviations. So we do have that one final budget amendment coming, and as we get into that at the end of June, we'll do the budget amendment, and then the board will review and vote on the next year's budget. So looking forward to that over the next couple of weeks.
Okay, any questions for Superintendent Williams on that? All right, hearing none, we'll move into action items. Amended action item A, looking for a motion and a support to approve second reading / adoption of policies 0131.1, 1430, 1623, 2660 or 2260, sorry, 2260.1, 2340, 3123, 3430, 4123, 4430, 5330, 5330.01, 5350, 5460, 8320, 8500, 8510, and 8640.
I'll make that motion.
Support. Motion by Whittington, supported by Souter. Any discussion? Hearing none, can we do a roll call vote, please?
Whittington,
Yes.
Souter,
Yes.
Christian, Jeske,
Yes.
Bowles,
Yes.
Oster,
Yes.
Halliday.
All right, thank you. Motion carries 5-0. And amended action item B, looking for a motion and a support for second reading and adoption of policy 5320.
I'll make the motion.
All support. So it's motion by Bowles and supported by Jeske. Any discussion? Hearing none, can we do a roll call vote?
Oster,
No.
Halliday, Bowles,
Yes.
Jeske,
Yes.
Whittington,
Yes.
Christian, Souter,
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries 4-1. We have one discussion item this evening. The question at hand, do we want to start earlier if we're going to do a 3-hour MASB board workshop during the August regular meeting?
Yes.
I got one yes down here.
Are you talking prior to the board meeting? Or are we talking a separate meeting for the, I can't remember.
I was just starting earlier than 6:30, I think that's how I'm reading it, right?
Yeah.
So at this point, we have no idea how long the board meeting could be either, right? So it could be
Right.
like,
I don't wanna be here past 9 o'clock.
you know,
Personally.
I don't know how people can think well.
I remember at our last meeting, the board said, let's do this in the summer and let's do it at a month where we have the one meeting, just embed it right in there. But, you're right, I mean, this meeting is very short,
Right.
but we don't know if that's gonna be a longer meeting, so.
They've been longer, seems
Yeah.
like lately.
Yeah, so I mean, if the board is interested, we have time to publish and amend earlier start to that meeting. But only if it works for everybody's schedule. So,
I could do an early start, or I could do a different Monday as well, but I'm not sure how that feels for the rest of the board members, given
I can do it early start.
things. Yeah.
What's that date in August?
It's the,
Okay, 9th, I think it's.
let's look, maybe 17th.
Is the 11th. I have it on my calendar.
I've heard the 9th, the 11th,
I
17th.
was guessing, okay.
No.
He's looking at the calendar.
I could see it too.
Yeah. I think you're right, let's double check.
I don't know if I have them all.
I'm not seeing it on either of those dates, but that doesn't mean it isn't there. Maybe it just hadn't popped up.
I
on my
have the
phone.
18th as well.
18th, yeah.
Wait, I do also see the 11th. I don't know. That's the one I think I got from you, something from you.
For whatever reason, my calendar's not pulling it on this, so. I just threw out a number between 1 and 30. Just,
Looking at the website, it says August 18th.
Yeah,
18th.
I'm pretty sure it's 18th.
yeah.
How early is early?
We bumped it back an hour, like 5:30.
Are we able to do the workshop prior?
Do the workshop before the regular meeting.
Well,
Yeah,
then we're talking like 3:30.
yeah.
I mean, I could do that, I don't
I can
know
make
how
it
that
work
works.
with enough notice.
I guess I can make that work too.
I got you.
You better
Okay.
check with the kids and make sure that
So the
schedule's
nice
open.
part is it doesn't
We'll
change
figure
the
it out.
regular meeting time for other people. It's just we come early.
We
I
can
think I'd
we
rather-
post it as a special,
Sure,
yeah,
I'm good with that.
instead of embedding it in the regular.
Yes.
Instead of making the regular go long, just do it.
Yeah.
Just
Post
as a special in
Post a
front of it.
special followed by a regular.
That also makes them end on time.
That's my
Yes, I'm
thoughts.
good with
on
that too.
Yeah.
You have
The
three
hard
hours.
3-hour
Fan
cap. Okay, so August 18th. I'll change everybody's calendar invite, that's technology 2, Brian 0 for keeping track. So August 18th workshop
And we are waiting to hear from MASB still.
Yeah, and that's what I was gonna say, this is contingent on what they're
Yeah.
available to do too.
Yeah,
Workshop starts at 3:30, and do a regular meeting at 6:30. Okay. Any other discussion items tonight? Hearing none, we are adjourned at 6:44. Thank you, everybody.